to Visions Now Supper Club. All views expressed for their educational and journalistic purposes, they're not the views of the management, advertisers, nor staff of 92.1 FM. However, Visions does desire to bring a quality entertainment program which intellectually stimulates and culturally fulfills our community's needs to develop leadership and informed decision-making for our collective future. Welcome to the village, often imitated, but never duplicated. I'm Dr. Jaylene Hood, your host and executive producer. Welcome.
This is what weak men do, particularly the ones raised by their mama. These mamas ruined an entire generation. You are literally looking at a generation of matriarchal squalor coming home to roost. When you have a bunch of women raising men without the input and the strong order and structure of a man's man, you get men like Ricky Smiley who want to emotionally bait you into saying, you know, we can't hold mama accountable. It doesn't matter what mama has done. It don't matter how many times she lied and said that was your daddy and that really ain't your daddy. She can't be held accountable for anything that she does. We just have to keep covering for her and celebrating her and elevating her to the highest level of praise and worship in the family, despite the fact that she was oppressive, abusive, mean, ornery, disrespectful, and didn't treat your daddy right, like all of those things. These are the men that are now trying to stand on a soapbox in a position of leadership and tell you, forget her record. Ignore all of that because it really doesn't matter. How is it that you provide nothing of substance of value and then you admit that she unjustly locked up a whole lot of black people? You're supposed to ignore that. And that's the least of why most black men are not with her. They already know what they're getting with her, and you want them to ignore that. If a person is at least going to make the effort to make their case, okay, well, bring me something of substance. Bring me some facts. We didn't get that. This is what weak men do.
Psychologist, I can tell you one of the main things you need to understand about Black men in relationships is this. It is incredibly difficult for someone to model what they have never had. And most Black men grow up hearing the message that their worth is tied to what they can provide tangibly. That can be working and to no end just to pay bills and keep a roof over their heads. That's it. I've also found this difference in the messaging that Black men versus Black women get. There are many different messages, but a lot of times they're told to focus on taking care of their house, like handling bills and protection, while women are often encouraged to create a home, a space filled with warmth, love, and emotional connection. What many Black men have never had is this affirming relationship that values them for who they are beyond what they can provide tangibly. So we live in a society that adultifies and dehumanizes Black boys who grow into Black men facing a world that not only doesn't support their growth, but works extra hard to try to stunt the growth of Black men. And without positive examples of love and vulnerability and emotional safety, it's going to be hard for them to build the relationships they deserve with themselves and with others. So here are 2 ways to create affirming relationships with Black men. 1, if you want Black men to elevate their emotional capacity and be more than just the check and what they can slang. Smash it in, boy. Let me smack it, girl. You see what I'm saying? Then you need to regularly affirm Black men for qualities that have nothing to do with their ability to provide cash or the D. And you know what I'm talking about. Compliment their character, their kindness, their resilience, their humor, their values. I'm just saying, like we talking about, we want men to provide more. Like, what can you add to my relationship? And the only thing you affirm them for is when they pay for something or they put it down. What else are they supposed to prioritize? Let Black men know that you appreciate their presence and value in your life, regardless of what they can offer solely in the material realm. This helps to break down the mindset that their worth is only tied to tangible contributions. If we want more, we have to affirm the more that they give. And next, you have to create a safe space for vulnerability in the first place. Encourage open conversations where they can express their feelings and their thoughts and their fears and emotions without judgment. It's without judgment. It's without judgment. And let's be real. You can't expect someone to open up if every time they share, you make it all about you. You snap about them, or worse, you store it up. You store these words up for future arguments. So if you're not ready to be a safe space, don't act surprised when individuals keep their feelings locked up. I know what you're going to say, Dr. Martin. How will I know if I'm not ready to be a safe space? Like, what does that look like? Practice active listening and validating emotions to help create a safe space for individuals, for Black men to feel valued for who they are, not just what they do. For all the women who want Black men in their lives to open up, understanding these barriers is key. Let's create a safe space for Black men to be seen and valued for their full selves beyond what they can provide, so that they can heal and we as a community can heal. We can just build all of these deeper connections that we all deserve. As a psychologist, I can tell you one of the main things you need to understand about Black men and relationships is this.